Let's learn. Matthew chapter 5, verse 27. This is Christ speaking. He says, "Ye have heard that it was said by them of old time, Thou shalt not commit adultery." Now, where do we find this? We find this in the law of Moses. We're going to turn to Exodus chapter 20, verse 14. And look at that. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Right? This is the 10 Commandments, law of Moses. But what is the action of committing adultery? Let's turn to Genesis chapter 39. And we're going to read verse 7. "And it came to pass after these things that Joseph's master's wife," so Potiphar's wife, "cast her eyes upon Joseph, and she said, Lie with me. Now, Joseph refused. Right? But the point here is the act of committing adultery is to lie with a man's wife. That is the act of committing adultery. Okay? Now, let's go back to Matthew chapter 5. So we understand, thou shalt not commit adultery is lying with another man's wife. Now, verse 28. "But I say unto you, that whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her hath committed adultery with her already in his heart." Now, if you go to the Christian church, they'll tell you this is a totally new law. This is Christ giving a new law that has to do with the heart. Is that true? I'm going to read it over again. "But I say unto you that whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her hath committed adultery with her already in his heart." Lust. That word is the important part. Lust. What is lust? Let's go to Romans chapter 7, verse 7. This is Paul. Paul speaking. Paul says, "What shall we say then? Is the law sin? God forbid. Nay, I had not known sin but by the law. For I had not known lust except the law had said, Thou shalt not covet." Wait a second. Back to Matthew chapter 5. "But I say unto you that whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her." Paul said, except the law had said, "Thou shalt not," "for I had not known lust." I'm going to keep reading the rest of it. "Except the law had said, Thou shalt not covet." Where does it say that in the law? Exodus chapter 20, verse 17. "Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife." So, is Christ saying something totally new? Absolutely not. He's reestablishing the law. If you look at a married woman, if you desire your neighbor's wife, you've already committed adultery in your heart. Why? Because you are coveting your neighbor's wife. And that is a sin. So Christ was teaching the law.